Welcome to the Classroom Connection, the show that takes you inside Marion County Public Schools. I'm Kevin Christian, and today we will show you how the economy directly impacts our students, especially over the last few years. And then with the Olympics over just a few weeks ago, we will talk with local swimmers to see if that sport is becoming more and more popular. And finally, we take a look at homegrown football to see what legacies we have right here in Marion County. Up front, though, today, Marion County has two brand new school board members taking office in November, just a few weeks from now. They both won in the August primary, and one of them joins us today. Carol Ely is a former principal here in Marion County who retired from our school system a couple of years ago. And Carol, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
I should first say, why be part of the school board? It's a long, arduous job at times with a lot of connections here in the community and a lot of responsibility. Why be part of it?
The last year I was principal, I just felt a calling to come back into the school system after I retired. And they say you should retire a year before you figure out what you want to do. Well, I waited that year, and the following year I filed in September. But I just have a passion for the school system. I have so much to give back because I have so many years of experience and feel that I can make a difference with the school system and with our kids. I have 5 grandchildren here, and I want them and all of the children in Marion County to have the best education possible, and I hope to indirectly help them get that.
Well, you'll directly impact that. Obviously, you retired from our district, 30-plus years with the district, as I recall.
34 years.
And certainly you come through the ranks, teacher, assistant principal, principal, and now you're going to kind of come over to the other side of the fence, if you will, and see how things are done from the legalistic side, if you will. Any hesitations about that, or first impressions maybe?
It's a total paradigm shift for me, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the challenge. I've been going to the board work sessions since last September and have learned so much about the other side of the school system. And I just look forward to working with the board and the superintendent and making things happen. Even though we have a lot of budget shortfalls this year, I feel like we can learn and live on less and make it happen.
Well, we've been doing that for a few years now. So, Carol, what are you focused on now? I mean, it's September, and you've got a couple of months before you actually take your oath.
Right now, I'm trying to learn as much as I can about not just the 11 schools that would be in my jurisdiction, but about all of the schools in Marion County. And I'm planning to meet with the other principals, met with 11. But I just want to get insight as to what's going on in their school, what their needs are, what their concerns are, and what they're celebrating, so that I can have a full understanding of what's going on in all of Marion County.
Yeah. How do you not get caught up in the government part of it, in being part of the school board, and this is how it's done, this is how the state says it has to be done, blah, 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 that kind of thing. How do you not get to that point?
Well, I'm not there yet, I'm not going to, it's not going to happen until November 20th, but I feel like I have great communication skills. I also have a lot of background knowledge and know about the Florida school system, and I know that I can make a difference. I took our students when we had a legislative session when I was at Shady Hill. We rented a bus, chartered a bus, went up to the legislative session and put up posters, Save Our Schools, and we had a bus full of teachers, parents, and kids. And I'm just passionate about things that I believe in, and know that I'll be up in Tallahassee. I will be up there to talk to our legislators and let them know what's going on in Marion County and what our needs are.
Maybe that was a premonition of things to come?
I don't know. I don't know.
Let's jump back, last September, last October, when you kind of put your hat in the ring. Looking back on that whole campaign season, what's the toughest part about campaigning?
Well, initially the toughest part was getting 2,500 petition cards signed. I've never done anything like that in my life. It's worse than childbirth. But that was the worst. But the best part of it was meeting with all of these great people in Marion County, especially out on West 200. I was invited to clubs and met people I would have never gotten to meet otherwise. And also hear what their concerns are with the school system and their input. Also, meeting with businesses. I think we can learn a lot from the businesses in Marion County, and maybe they can help us with our needs and our budget.
You mentioned the 200 corridor. I'm gonna ask you a hard question here, because there are a lot of people along that road that say we don't have kids in our school system. We shouldn't have to pay school taxes.
I know.
What do you say to that?
I think that's just going to be ongoing. You're going to hear that every time we have any kind of tax issue. But they were kids once too, and they had children in the school system at one time, and that's my argument against that. You know,
Right.
Please help us. You know, you were a student, you were a parent. We need your help. We'll always need your help.
Yeah.
So,
Carol, what's the most important promise you want to keep?
I want to be honest. I want to be perfectly honest with my commitment and with everything I say to people, and I want to be a good listener. The promises that I had a platform when I was speaking, and as a board member, I set policy. It's hard to get into curriculum, but I will always have my hands in curriculum because I was a curriculum coordinator and have my master's degree in curriculum, and so I want to be a part of that as well.
Sure. Last question for you. Which is bigger for you, being there for the kids or being there for the taxpayers?
Oh, gosh, Kevin. Oh, gosh. Being there for the kids. Being there for the kids. I want to be there for the taxpayers as well, but our children are the most, that's our future. Yeah. And if we can't take care of them now, they're not going to take care of us when we need them.
Amen. Amen. Well said, and I think that's a great note to end on. Carol, thanks for your time, and congratulations again.
Thanks for having me. Look forward to serving come November.
Absolutely. Well, you probably don't realize it, but right here, some kids in Marion County don't have a clue where their next meal is coming from. Our district participates in state and federal programs that provide breakfast and lunch at little to no cost to qualifying students. So this gives students balanced, healthy choices to fill their most basic of needs. Tom Lauder explains how it all works.
You may go. How are you today?
The free and reduced lunch plan costs $16 million to operate, which is given in in-kind dollars from the Department of Agriculture.
Right. See you later.
Our free and reduced population at this time is 67%. However, 55% of the kids who are eligible for free and reduced are what we call direct certification.
The students assisted by this program gain a lot, but what, if any, does the program offer to continuing education?
The Child Nutrition Act came about in 1966, and with that, the understanding was that they understood the relationship between good nutrition and learning. And the purpose of the program is to provide kids with the nutrition that they need to enable them to be able to be good learners while they're in school.
The parents and the guardians only have to ask Food Services Elizabeth Carter for a simple way of doing so to get the assistance that's needed.
No, it's pretty well self-explanatory, especially with the online application. It does ask you question by question, so it's a parent just filling out, giving their information that they have. And the paper one gives directions. It's a three-page directions on how to fill the application out properly. So there's really no way. I mean, they can come to us. We'd be more than glad to help them, explain to them what they need, or even one of the guidance counselors at the schools would also do that. Sit down and take the time with them if they do need the assistance. We'd be more than glad to help them.
Among the things the federally driven program brings is an educational component to foster good, healthy habits of eating for students and parents alike.
It actually helps the school system to be able to connect with children. Hungry children are not active listeners. They're not going to participate. When children are fed and they have good nutrition, they're actually energized, ready to learn, and ready for the classroom. So with the new requirements that our educators have to make certain that children meet certain standards, our program is there to prepare that kid for the classroom, enabling or assisting our instructors or teachers in reaching the children and reaching the students.
It appears this program is much more than just a free meal. It's also a lending hand, as well as a tool for learning.
Right now, 67% of our kids qualify for free or reduced meals. That is 2 out of every 3 students. Well, to keep students engaged and avoid learning loss, our Title I office held an incentive-based contest just this past summer. Joe Hartley shows us while it may have been soccer-based, it was a grand slam for kids.
Hey kids, want to kick the summer slide and maybe even score a $25 gift card?
We decided to have a summer competition to really encourage students to keep on reading and practicing their math facts. Lots of times over summer when students are enjoying the weather and going out on family trips, we do see some of the regression of the skills that they earned during the school year. If you don't use it, you lose it. And we wanted to make sure that we minimized that loss or actually kept it equal so that they were coming in school exactly where they left.
As an extra incentive, the students who compiled the most hours over the summer won gift cards donated to the program. v-math Live and Ticket to Read are online programs accessible from any internet connection, so students had lots of ways to participate in the contest.
I'm glad that so many students logged on during the summer. My belief is that every student can learn, and I don't care what program they use as long as they're using something.
While no hard data is available yet, it's clear a lot of them did use these programs.
We had a great response. We had parents that were calling for passwords that students had forgot. We were doing walkthroughs. The students seemed really to enjoy it.
I probably averaged at least 10 phone calls a day for passwords, usernames. Some of the school principals that were at the schools this year called me also for log-on information for students because the parents would call there, instead of calling our office. So I believe it was great. I hope that they log on just as much during the fall kickoff, what we call the fall kickoff, and I hope they continue to use the program.
The campaign worked so well, they are launching a new one this month. Here's a sneak look at it.
Hey kids, here's your chance to be a math or reading superstar and walk the red carpet with TJ Ticket and v-bott. The two students with the most usage hours on Ticket to Read or v-math Live by New Year's will win $25 gift cards, and the classrooms with the most hours will win pizza parties with TJ Ticket or v-bott. The contest is open to students at these 29 schools. All you need is an internet connection. v-math Live is open to grades 2 through 5, and Ticket to Read is open to K through 5. That's $25 for the students with the most hours and a pizza party for the classrooms with the most hours. But you've only got until January 2nd, so get going.
Something else that's always popular are the Olympics. Well, just a few weeks ago, you realized swimming captured the spotlight thanks to Michael Phelps and a few others. Chadwick Pierce takes us poolside to see if Michael Phelps mania made a big splash with local swimmers.
When it comes to swimming, there truly are different strokes for different folks. And with a variety of distances, there's something for everyone.
Breaststroke is very hard because it's timing, and butterfly also is timing, but it's a lot of upper body strength. So, I mean, if you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. I mean, I have a kid swimming butterfly, cannot swim breaststroke to save his life. I have breaststrokers that can't swim backstroke. It just depends. I mean, it's what your body can do and what feels most natural for you.
Swimmers get an opportunity to do something other athletes can't: compete against the world's best.
Well, it's really cool because at our swim meets, we get the Olympians, they come to our swim meets. So I've seen Ryan Lochte up close and personal swimming his best events. So it's really cool to be like, yeah, I've seen him, I've seen him swim this race before. And it's great to see that rivalry because when he swims with us, he's going to win by a whole 50. He swims with Michael Phelps, it really brings in that intensity that we all love to see.
Being able to participate in a meet with the likes of an Olympic athlete requires a lot of time in the water.
These athletes train for hours a day. They come in before school and swim. Some of them, they come in after school and swim. They swim weekends. We have competitions on weekends. The year-round swimmers, they train year-round. All summer long, they're here 2 times a day swimming.
Lap after lap after lap can quickly become monotonous. So it is important to help ensure training does not dry up.
Well, the sets that they give us, they're all for a purpose. So, you know, they're always changing. You know, sometimes it's for sprint, sometimes it's for a certain stroke, and you never know what you're going to get. You know it's going to be a stroke day, but you don't know is it going to be stroke sprint. And it's always changing, always different, and you just never know.
I kind of keep my future like in the back of my mind. I know I'm going to college next year. Still not too sure where, but I hope that somebody, you know, will notice me and be like, well, I want her on my team. So I just want to make sure I can do the best I can and get better and make sure my times get faster.
For those who think all those hours spent in the water for a 45-second race is a bit much, those putting in that time see it through different eyes.
People may think that, you know, all that hard work goes in for nothing, but really to see when you go into that wall, see your time up there, you drop 5 seconds, see your coach's face, it's amazing to think that, you know, I worked 2 months as hard as I could and I came out with my best. And it's a great feeling to know that you can do your best and you put in all that work and it wasn't for nothing.
Not just for Olympic medals, working hard pays off in many other ways as well, including school grades. Earlier this summer, the state released grades for elementary and middle schools. So here's a look at how our schools fared. High school grades come out later this fall. Well, at this time of the show each month, we introduce you to someone who loves their job and makes the difference for kids. Today, meet Brian Green. He not only changes lives, he does so for those most at risk.
Hello, my name is Brian Green, and I'm a program manager with Alternative Programs. Why do I love my job? That's an easy answer for me. I love doing what I do because it gives me the opportunity to give back. It's as simple as that. I give back because I work in a public service agency that's in the business of developing children for tomorrow. Not necessarily developing children for success in schools today, but success outside of schools. And that's what I come to work with every day, that mindset. What I really love about my job is I have the unique opportunity to work with kids who've made some poor decisions, very poor decisions in some cases. Some of those decisions have led kids to be inside of our Department of Juvenile Justice or jail facilities. It's an unfortunate situation, but I don't focus on that, and neither does any of those staff that I work with every day, day in and day out, focus on what those children did. We focus on preparing them for the lives that they're going to live outside of that facility. Every day I come to work, I have the opportunity to start fresh, no matter what that kid may or may not have done, no matter what may have happened the day before. It doesn't matter. I love being able to start fresh every day and work with people who have the same type of persona and beliefs that I have and wanting to give back in this service industry that we all share. I love and have the mindset of coming to work, not on Monday morning with the thought of, thank God, you know, I can't wait till it's Friday, but instead with a thank God it's Monday approach to rolling up my sleeves and giving back.
Brian has a great support staff in his department, so we say thanks to everyone involved with Alternative Programs. In football this month, Vanguard coach Alex Castaneda is trying to restore the Knights to the glory days of past by bringing in the past to coach the present. Joe Hartley has more on the staff's ties to not just the school, but also the coach.
It's almost nostalgic to the point where, you know, you feel like you're 18 again every day you walk in here because, like you say, I played here, blood, sweat, and tears in the corner after a loss. You know, I know this place inside and out, and like I say, to see the kids walking around the same age I was and doing the same things I did, it kind of brings you back every day you come in here.
You look around and you see the red, white, and blue walls. We have the same lockers that we did my senior year, so I'm used to the area, and it makes me feel good to say that I wore that same gray helmet. You know, I wore this number. I had on the red, white, and blue. We played at Booster Stadium. It brings back so many memories.
Marcus Glover and Steve Rem are two of a dozen coaches at Vanguard who not only once wore that uniform, but also played for then assistant coach Alex Castaneda. One of the few non-Knights on his current staff played for him during his time at Westport, and that led Mikey Pinard across town.
As soon as he got hired here, the next day he called me up and asked if I would want to come over here, and I jumped on it immediately. A lot of my friends that I played with from Westport, you know, they're like, oh, you're a traitor, you're going over. But it was one of those, they didn't understand. It was Coach Cass is here. All our coaches are here. And to me, more than the school I graduated from, they gave me more.
I first met Coach Cass my sophomore year. I was a 14-year-old quarterback. He came over from Lake Ware, and first thing he did was put me in his car. We went up to Georgia Southern, and we learned the offense. And since we went up to Georgia Southern and we learned the offense together, we implemented it together. And I think that's what started a beautiful friendship. My life is only one of many whose I'm sure he's touched over his 24 years of coaching and teaching. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Mr. Alex Castaneda.
I've known Steve since he's been 14 years old. Out of all the people that asked, I did ask him to present my, to introduce me for Golden Apple.
I was a little nervous. It was a different atmosphere, but with Coach Cass, I trusted him. I trusted his direction. So when he thought that I represented him the best in introducing him at the Golden Apple Teachers Award in 2000, that was like an honor to me.
Having watched these guys go from being his players to his coaches, the pigskin patriarch can't help but stick his chest out a little.
Most of the most of my coaches now followed me wherever I went, so I'm very proud. I'm like a proud father. My staff is almost like my sons because I've known them more than half their lives. Heck, they're almost hitting 40 now. But I'm very proud of our staff. I mean, it's just watching them grow from high school kids and grow into men and enjoying a profession that I enjoy and I've done almost all my life, and then following through. It really makes me proud.
I didn't play football. I didn't have a great love for it before I met him. And he showed me how to love the game, how to understand the game, and more importantly, he showed me how to give back to the game.
Vanguard's once fierce rivalry with Forest has dropped since the schools no longer share Booster Stadium. But Castaneda has hopes to change that with big plans for the November 9th meeting. That will be the 42nd time in history the two schools will play each other, including a reunion of the 1994 Vanguard team led by Dante Culpepper. Well, Superintendent Jim Yancey has been in Marion County for most of those football games, and he's winding down his own career with our district, but he still has plenty of information to share with us.
Hi, and welcome back to the 2012-2013 school year. Hope everything's going well for you. We're here at Marion Technical Institute, which is the old Forest High School on Fort King Street. And as you look down this hallway behind me, you can see that this is an area that we use for staff development. We do have 2 student classes that meet, science labs here behind me on my right, your left, that meet there, and several computer labs in here to train our teachers and staff. Also further down, we do all kinds of other staff development, whether it's in services on math or whatever subject area. So this is where the majority of the staff development takes place, here and at their home-based schools. And if you come by, you'll see a big sign on the outside that says staff development. And so if you ever get a chance and you want to look around, come in and see what MTI is doing with all their vocational programs here and all the programs that get kids ready not only for college, but especially to enter the workplace right after graduation. I hope you have a great school year and it's off to a good start. I know that on the 10-day count, the 10th day of school, we have to make some adjustments in our classes, and that occurs, and we're hoping that as we move towards October, we have another count coming up, and we may have to make some adjustments to manage our class sizes. But we hope that the year's gone great for you so far, and I'd love for you to, if you're having a problem, to please call the school, have a conversation with an assistant principal or even a guidance counselor, and see if they can resolve your problems. Because we're looking forward to a great school year and kids learning a lot as we move towards our implementation of the Common Core curriculum. Thanks, and have a great year.
Thanks, Mr. Yancey, and thank you for joining us today. As we leave you today, we hope you enjoy these grateful moments with some of the class of 2012. And parents, remember, be there for your child every day.
Hi, my name is Brendan Mitchell, and I just want to say to Westport High School faculty and staff and my classmates in 2012, thank you for a very memorable year and preparing me for the next stages of my life. Go Wolfpack!
Hi, I'm Michael Copley, and I'd like to thank the teachers and students at Westport High School for making Westport just a little bit easier to go to. I'd also like to thank Ms. Elsperman and the football coaches who gave me a guiding hand through all 4 years.